Call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We can have a roll call, please.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Brother?
Here.
Mrs. Mooney? Here. Mr. Pledger?
Here.
Mr. Apple?
Here.
Mrs. Trimble? Here. Oh.
Okay, we have a motion to approve our consent agenda.
And a motion.
For the total of
Okay.
$390,106.67.
I'll make the motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll support it. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, I call for roll call vote.
Mrs. Mooney?
Yes.
Mr. Brother?
Yes.
Mr. Pledger?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trimble, yes.
Okay, citizens wishing to address the board. I have no slips here. Hearing none, I guess I would ask for approval of our agenda with the addition of approving the officers for the fire department.
We can do that in the fire department report.
I suppose we could do that. It doesn't matter. We don't need that. We could do it, and we could do it in the fire department. So I guess I would just ask for approval of our agenda.
I move to approve the agenda. Support.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or any? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Approval passes. Department head reports. Mark, fire department.
I gave you a list of the officers for suggested for this coming year. We're asking for ratification of those. I think if you put one in everybody's box, somebody should have, they're the same as last year, so there's no changes there. So, just need every year we have to go through that to get it ratified or approved by you guys.
As soon as I find mine, I'll make a motion to no, I know who they are. I was just I'll make a motion that we accept the officers as written.
Support.
Have a motion and support. Is there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Pledger?
Yes.
Mrs. Mooney?
Yes.
Mr. Bradley?
I will abstain. You find on that list?
Mrs. Trimble, yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I started the budget process for next year, so that's your memo on.
Yeah.
We're on the way with that.
Okay. I'm hoping to have a budget meeting within, not this week, because this week is kind of blank, but the following week I'd like to get our first budget meeting scheduled. And then just to give you a background, I guess, and everybody else, that I'd like to have one next week, and I'd like to have one maybe the second week in February, and hopefully, if it takes more, at least wrap it up maybe at the end of February, so we'll be able to take it, bring it to the board.
It shouldn't be a problem. I've been helping her, talking with Caroline and Ruth, and getting some figures squared around, make sure they're in the right categories, and so I understood where they went. So we'll have accurate things.
Okay.
So we should be all set with that.
No, go ahead. You got something else.
Just, we took a couple months ago, we talked about cost recovery ordinance, about modifying it. Last month I forgot to bring it, so that's the ordinance 0603. There's two items we need to add to it for our billing that's not specified in there, that we have our boat. So we'd like to add the boat at $175 an hour on that ordinance. And then also our UTV, the Ranger 6x6. We'd like to put that on there for $175 an hour when we get billable calls. Right now, we have some calls come along, since that's not listed, it's hard to, I can't.
What is that called, Ranger what?
It's a Ranger, it's a,
Oh,
Ranger, but it's a UTV 6x6, I think is the proper stuff for that. I'd like to get that added to the ordinance. I don't know what it takes to do that, you guys know that.
Yeah, it has to get typed up, we probably won't get it done this meeting.
No, that's fine, I mean, just, if we can just get that,
Yeah, well,
that in the process, now we have to
Get it ready.
I had to bring it last month, and it just helps with billing and all that stuff, when I have it specified in ordinance for get payment from the outside. And just recap of the line burn we had last week, everything went well, we had 5 departments, 6 departments requested, 5 showed up, things went well, no injuries. My OSHA was there, she was thrilled.
she wrote us a letter.
So things were good. The owner donated $1,000. And we put it in the township fire department fund, so it didn't go into our association fund, put it into the township.
I have one thing to ask you though,
What's that?
that you need to take care of yet, is that you need him to pay us $50.
Oh, you did, you did, sorry, Mike.
Oh.
It's done.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, I didn't know about that.
Sorry, we
But
didn't
yeah,
tell
you know,
you.
we had to prevent it.
I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, the office staff had said he hadn't stopped in, so I just sent a reminder to him on Thursday or Friday. I sent an email, asked it, well, it must have been.
Thanks for the
Wednesday.
give us another 50.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know it was an oversight, but legally, that's not a binding contract if he isn't paid for it. So he goes out there, and you guys are working on that, and it's not binding because he hasn't paid for it.
It was just a miscommunication.
That's what I'm thinking.
In the future, I'll make sure that was done. I know he said he had it, and I assumed.
Boy, because
But
he came to
honestly,
fill it
I
out.
thought he-
Yeah,
I thought
she
he-
called and
yeah.
said, it's here.
Yeah, well, I asked you on Thursday.
Yeah,
I
well,
said,
I-
permit,
so I know it was
so
here,
no
and-
issues there.
You know, I talked to him at the burn, and I didn't think it was a problem, because I had sent him an email on Thursday, because the staff doesn't work Friday.
Right.
So I knew it'd be taken care of. But
Yep.
it's one of those things, you guys are closed, it was happening Saturday, and really couldn't, just to call it off was like a major
Sure.
deal. I ordered the weather perfect for that day, I couldn't get another date changed with the weather, and so.
You know,
we had to-
while we're on this subject, Mark, I think we need to look at, you know, between the board and the fire department, is we need to look at a way that, you know, that they come through when they ask for, you know, and they want to donate a property, that it comes through the office, and then we proceed from that standpoint.
It always comes through.
I know it comes
As
through.
a, you know, like Siemens or my parents, or, they always get a demolition permit, and then it's always started that way.
Mhm.
So before the building zoning guy knew about it, because he got a demo permit. So we'll just, when it happens again, we'll just.
Yeah, for now, I think we need to look at that, and, you know, and just who's ever setting these up, just direct them to come here and get a permit, and it starts here, and then you take it just like you normally handle it.
That one's been going on for like a year or more, trying to get it organized, so.
Yeah.
And then they got that form that Caroline gave me, I got that modified, and with our title heads on it, so, but anyway, so.
Okay.
I'll add to the list of things to do.
And I guess while we're on, have you got anything else?
That's it for me.
Well, while we're on the fire deal, we need to get a hold of Worth Township and get this thing going. Their what is it, contingency fee or
Standby fee.
standby fee hasn't been paid. You know, they haven't paid any more other than the $100 that they gave us, you know, as far as the bill goes. I've tried to get a hold of Mr. Essenbacher, and I call there, I do not get a return phone call. You can't talk to anybody in that office, nobody picks up the phone.
Okay.
I mean, I've called every officer in that township, trying to get a hold of them. Well, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send them a letter and state that we need to sit down with them, and we need to do a contract, you know.
Good.
So that's where we are
Well,
with that. And-
do they
and-
want one?
Well,
They
or, yeah,
know
or
that
if they
we
do
don't
want
have
you know.
one. Our
But I think
contract is
if you,
expired.
I'd like to get together with you to sit down and your input, you know, to where we need to be with that. But I mean, from the township standpoint, I don't think that we can afford to subsidize Worth Township for fire service. You know, I mean, they pay everybody else, you know, they're paying $5,000 here, they're paying Croswell, they're paying Lexington. You know, they need, even the $5,000, I know it isn't the amount of money that they owe to everybody else, but if they're paying somebody else so much per month, then they ought to be paying us so much per month until the bill's paid and brought up to date. You know?
I mean, I agree, I was thinking when I seen their, I don't remember the dates, but I thought in January they're supposed to be caught up with one of them, so then I thought really, since we were the lowest amount owed, they would take it, they're doing the kind of the biggest one and get them off their back, and I was thinking that we would just plug into that, because I looked at my budget numbers, I see they've given us $7,000 this year or something, you know, so I know they're
They're still
they're still in arrears, but I mean, they're
Well, whatever gave them the opinion that they could pay us as they collected? It's due when they receive the invoice.
I think that the problem with the previous clerk, though, and all the mess that they've gone through, that I don't
Well,
think.
No, I think it's their decision.
I understand that, you know, but this has been going on now for almost a year, you know. At
And
some
they-
point, I think they need
And
to.
Robin hasn't been the clerk much more than a year, has she? She been, I don't know.
I don't know.
So, I mean, we can,
Yeah.
I think the thing to do is not go to the public meeting, but just set up a meeting and sit down and talk to them. You know, in a public meeting, you just, I mean, it's just.
No, it doesn't belong to us.
Mike and I went there.
It belongs with the administrators of the township.
Yeah.
To sit down, you know, I mean, they need to go to the board, as we do, you know, to either approve or disapprove the contract. But it needs to be done between the administrators of the
Because you and I went to our
township.
last meeting and we got to our thing and they
Yeah.
tabled it. I mean, they asked us some questions, we had some dialogue in the meeting.
Well,
But they tabled it, but they
Well, and I
they need to
request-
go a little more aggressive than just.
You know, at that point, though, I had requested that he give me a call within the next couple of weeks to set up a meeting.
There's language in the contract that determinations.
It's null and void. They haven't,
Well, I know, so maybe we need to just send them a letter and tell them, you know,
we
that,
have no contract.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I think.
Well, you know,
that'll get their
Mike,
attention. I'm not
if
saying,
our
I'm not
taxpayers
saying,
find out, we're
I'm not
paying-
saying if we get called that
Me
you're not gonna
either.
respond, because I pretty well guarantee the firemen are gonna respond if Salem County calls.
and that's what I'm saying, you
But-
just can't,
But,
you know.
but the board still needs to.
They can
take care of
hire
the
somebody
contract
else.
stuff. Exactly.
Turn it over to Lexington. If they don't wanna communicate with us, I mean, that's pretty rude, for one thing. You expect free coverage and not even respond when you request that you get together.
I guess I'm more upset about the fact that I can't get any answers, I can't even talk to anybody.
Then why
You know,
would
you
we
just-
want to?
You just, well, I want to set up an appointment to get this contract straightened out.
I'm not sure they want one.
You're probably afraid to talk to anybody. And I don't know what.
Take any phone bill.
That sounds cruel, but I mean, honestly, that's not how you do business.
I'm going to work in Lexington tomorrow in the morning. I mean, I can stop and see if I catch somebody and set up a time or you, whatever you want to do. If you want to contact them or if you want to go out there and see them or,
Phil is supposed to be
Let me know.
contacting Mike.
okay.
Well,
I'll let you handle it.
I wonder if any-
I'll do
I wonder if
whatever
any
you want.
long we go.
Okay.
Whatever day you get, I'll make my schedule work so it's not a conflict. Or I'll get hold of Mark and Lovell. You just set it and I'll do whatever I have to do with my schedule to make it work.
Well, it won't be till next week, anyway.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
going to be till next week.
Yeah,
so
but,
Monday, Tuesday, whatever.
so, all right.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Mark?
That's it.
Building department.
Just the reports in there, the number of dollars, I don't think I need to read it there.
No. What you want?
Nothing else that I know of.
Okay.
Do you know what is with Sandy Beach?
Some foreclosure.
Just
Quite sure.
that's,
Yeah, there's nobody living in there.
no, I mean, it's all boarded up. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
that's where it's at.
Yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't a foreclosure. I haven't heard anymore.
okay.
And our water department is doing fine. Nothing new there. I think we did a new tap this last week, right? Another new customer, so. Jane, the library.
Patrons seem to be happy with having more hours. They're very happy to have Wednesday because most of them could never remember we were closed on Wednesday anyway and kept showing up and finding us closed, so they're happy with the new hours. Our director has decided to apply for a universal service fund reimbursement or whatever the government does with that. So I called Ruth about making sure that we always got complete telephone statements, because she has to have all of the calls that are billed to the branch to apply for that for all of the branches. I don't think there's anything else going on. You know, programs are going pretty well. I have noticed that people are moving Matt's stuff, he piles stuff out in the middle, and they move it back into the new storage rooms and back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I see that.
When there's a party or something, like there was a party Saturday afternoon, and I got there Saturday morning and thought, gee, it looks funny in there, and they had moved it all into the rooms.
I asked him about that today. He said that's okay, he doesn't have a problem with that.
Well, he should maybe be given a copy of the schedule, what's going on there, and have the stuff in the storage room so it's not in people's way. The people shouldn't have to move that stuff.
He checks the schedule regularly to see when he can do the work. But,
Yeah, but I mean, as far as...
well, it's not his stuff, it's the library's stuff too. It's library books, it's mostly
Is it-
that.
Well, hold it, is it like stuff for the book sales and stuff like that? I mean, would it be a major deal to haul that stuff over to the
Yeah.
DPW building?
Yeah, it would. And haul it back, I mean, I don't want to do it.
I didn't.
Yeah, and then there are, you know, is our book sale stuff, there's our flatbed cart, there's a piece of
Ceiling?
ceiling tile that he's taken down. It's random stuff, which I think as soon as he can get the inside of those rooms.
Keeps going, yeah. They were working on it today. He's gonna get the windows
This
in.
is all storage that will be taken care of once these.
Right.
rooms are-
Right.
The closets
Yeah,
are
it'll
there,
go in
it's
those-
not finished
It
yet.
will go in those rooms permanently as soon as he hasn't finished. He just doesn't have them finished
He
enough
mopped
to
up
put
the
it
floor
in.
though, I see. He had the floor all mopped. He's probably pretty messy.
Yeah, he's actually tried to work around people's programs and things like that. For one kids program, it was going to be on a Saturday morning. They came back that Friday night and purposely mopped the floor and that kind of thing. So they've actually tried, but it's just difficult working around
You know,
what was
stuff
already
when you're doing
scheduled.
renovation work and stuff like that, to keep it clean, so. Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, moving on, unfinished business. Chapel restoration project, I guess you want to.
Nothing new. We just had our last meeting until spring. So there's really nothing going on right now.
Okay.
Set up,
Fundraisers?
fundraisers.
Yeah.
It was like
We
gone
did-
out of my
we did.
head.
We did set up some.
We set up
tentative
dates, tentative dates, because Pat Moses wasn't here. She was
Right.
gone at a doctor's appointment. But there's a variety of people that are going off to warm lands, so
So can we take that off of unfinished business for the next few
Till
months?
May,
Till
maybe
May
we
or
can do
something?
that.
Then-
Yeah, we
I
can
mean,
do that.
just one less thing. But if you have something to talk about, we can talk about it. That's all I do.
Okay, moving on, Old Township Hall restoration project.
Well, I just talked with Matt today, the 3 closets are in, he hopes to get at the windows, I hope this week. He had some jobs come up, some emergencies that he had to take care of, because he does have his own, projects going too. And I think it's coming along, it's gonna be slow, because he's kind of doing it in between things too, so. Anyway, we're excited about it though. I think it's gonna be nice.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is the assessor's contract for 2013.
I did a little bit of, after we got our second proposal from Shelley, because we actually have already, we as a board have adopted her contract. And so when we didn't approve her vacation time, she came back now and, as you read, has requested an increase in pay, stating that the average compensation ranges from 12 to 15. Well, I hadn't found that to be the case, actually, in talking with people, because I had been talking with people right along, So I went ahead and called around and did a survey on what's actually going on out there. People that are getting, I think I got one at 13, and that's somebody with 22 years experience on a level 3. Several at 8 something, and you know what, Mike, I don't know what I did with my sheet.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Well, Columbus Township was 1350.
Yeah.
Several, now there are a few townships that are full-time,
Clyde is 1250.
and you gotta look at the years
And
experience.
she's a level 3 assessor. Berlin is 852 per parcel, and he's a level 2 with 5 years experience.
Is Shelley level 2?
No,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, she's a level 2.
She's working on her
She's
level 3.
working on 3. Grant is 12 with a level 3.
And 22 years experience.
22 years. Kimball Township is 892 with 10 years experience, level 3. Lynn Township is $12, level 3. Hussey Township's $820 per parcel, level 3. And Riley Township is $11 per parcel with a level 2 and 35 years experience.
So how many years of experience did our previous assessor have?
Paul?
Not enough.
Too many.
Well,
Too many and not
I'm just
the right
saying,
kind.
if you look at those numbers, sometimes it
Doesn't
doesn't
mean
give you the whole
anything.
picture.
Well, I think that's been eliminated.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
At least, what, 10 townships? I think the state is watching that much closer, as we know. Well, it kind of does, though, Jody, but
Well, but the same person is 3 different people's assessor.
right. Shelley
4
has,
people's, actually.
Shelley has 3 different townships, too.
Okay, but I mean, the same person has 4 townships, has the 22 years experience.
Right.
It's not like there's 4 different people.
No, that's right.
Yeah, it's the one
But each
person
one is a little bit
who's got it all.
different price, I think.
Well, 1250,
12 to 1350.
1250, 1350, and 12.
And she's a
And
level
12,
3.
And they're all
And
12.
1350, what I'm trying to say is 1350 was the highest that I found. I didn't find any at 50. $12 is fairly high. As I said to Shelley, we had a little meeting and I said, you know, we started you out a little high. Because first of all, we were interested in you, we thought you were honest and going to be able to tackle the job. And she's learned a lot through this reassessment. She didn't have the experience when she started. So I thought that she was, when we approved her contract renewal for 1 more year, I thought that was reasonable because she's working on her level 3. And at that time, I thought we could consider, you know, increasing it. But that was one of the reasons I did the survey.
Well, we paid $10 per person now.
Right. And we paid her that from the beginning.
Yeah.
But as far, you know, as far as the $10 that you paid for the beginning, I mean, the board at the time that they hired her must have thought that she was worth the $10 and they wouldn't hire her at $10 an hour. And that doesn't alter the fact that she's been with the township now. She's going on her 5th year. And she's really never asked for a raise. She's never asked for any compensation. She guided us through the reassessment. And I know we had a company that did it, but there was a lot of work that, you know, and I'm talking as her direct supervisor now, you know, like if we were doing an evaluation. She did a wonderful job of taking us through that, you know, and I mean, there were a lot of things that could have went wrong that she kept us on the straight and narrow with that, with Mr. Rick Watson from the Treasury Department. And I thought she did an excellent job of taking us through it. I feel that she does need some kind of a raise.
Well, she got the job done. We started out, we were going to hire her to do it, and she wasn't capable of doing it yet at that time. So it cost us $80,000 to get the reassessment done. And she learned a lot through that. She's done a good job.
Yeah, but I don't, you know, that being said, that wasn't something to blame on her. I thought she was ambitious, she was young, it was a brand new job, and I think she was doing that thinking that, you know, she was going to help us out. Well, we were in 2 weeks into it, and they come along and to be truthful with you, Rick Watson told her in my office at a meeting that is something that, Shelley, that I don't think that you really want to undertake. you know, so I don't know
Well,
whether
he
she
told
did.
us that at a meeting.
Yeah,
when we
yeah, he
said
told
that.
us that too, so.
But she wanted an additional 15,000 to do that too, at the time.
Well, that was reasonable, pretty reasonable compared to the 80,000 we paid to have it done, you
Yeah.
know, in the end, but.
I just
You
think
know.
we're in pretty good shape. I think she's done a good job. I don't think that 12 to 15 is the range. I think 10 is an average range right now, at her level, with her experience. And when she gets her level 3, I'm ready to go on and increase, but that's just my thought. So whatever everybody wants.
Anybody else?
Well, I talked to Mike a little bit about it, and I suggested maybe just staying where she's at the 22,000, but go back and just maybe amend the contract that it's a 50-week contract instead of 52 weeks, so, which would kind of give her the two vacation days that she wanted.
Well, you're kind of altering the personnel manual then, because unless you're full-time.
She's not full-time. No, you're not.
You don't get paid vacation. if
And
you're-
and I'm not saying call it a vacation, just amend her contract to a 50-week contract per year,
Whatever.
or 48 weeks or something. I don't, you know, somewhere in there. She still has to do all the work,
Mhm.
you know, and to-
And she says,
to not
people
be
want this
here.
job, because it's clean now, it's all done. There are people.
Well, we amended the hours to full-time when we went to 4 days.
That's
when we
right,
had-
that's right, we did.
And that was in the personnel manual, but she's not a
she's not,
She's not a
employee,
full-
she's a
full-time
contract
employee,
person.
yeah, she's-
It wouldn't be any different if we amended Dusty's contract to
exactly.
whatever, I guess.
Well,
I
she
don't-
is an employee, she's.
Well, but so's Dusty,
Yes,
but they're contract employees.
right, that's correct.
They're not like the office staff.
Well, they're not,
That's the difference.
not really, there's not really any difference. Dusty has a contract, he's an employee,
Yep.
and,
And Shelley has a contract, she's an employee.
That's
Ruth
right.
Has a job,
right,
no contract.
description with benefits.
And Kathy, and Marilyn.
And Marilyn.
Yeah, they do benefits.
They don't have
That's what
contracts.
Shelley does.
Mhm,
So,
right.
I mean, that might.
Well, I guess
That's
my-
basically all she asked for in the first place, was a couple.
But we
weeks to-
turned that down and we continued.
Well, we said we'd approve the contract, but not the 2 weeks, but I
We
thought we
approved
just,
the old contract.
yes,
That's it.
which was just 22,000.
Right.
52 weeks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you just change the contract to 50 weeks, 22,000. So you should go with it and you save $2,200 for now.
You're saving it? I don't think so.
Well, but if, I mean, she wants $2,200 increase.
Oh, you're saving it? You haven't given it.
Yeah, but we don't have a contract either.
Okay.
We don't have an assessor, right? Well, we have an assessor.
Yes.
We don't have a contract.
Yeah, we don't have a contract. Anybody else?
And. That was my thought.
I think all the files are sure in a lot better shape now, and she's pretty much inputted all of them. And I think she does a good job, so whatever works out, I think. If Al's idea, if Shelley would go for that, then I wouldn't certainly have any problem with that.
No, I wouldn't either, and I'd rather do that than the raise.
That's,
And Mike, and you're talking to her, would she, I mean, that's what she wanted originally.
well, that's what she
That's
wanted
what she
originally.
wanted.
What she wanted 2 days off, you know, and it wasn't going to involve the contract whatsoever. I mean, she just wanted the 2 days off and be paid for them, because before she took the time off, don't get me wrong. She took the time off, but she had to make them up on a different day. Instead of coming on Tuesday or whenever she was on vacation, she would come on Thursday and make up that days, or the 2 days, or, you know, when she was 2 days a week or 1 day a week. But she would make those up on different days, and which she set up with me, you know. And,
You know, you all realize she works 8 hours a week. And if you figure that out, it's about $57 an hour that she's making, unless she puts in more time. But there's a lot of times that it's slow, too.
She works more than 8 hours a week.
Yeah, she works at home too on that stuff.
Well,
Some.
And if she doesn't work at home, I have no idea, but I mean, there's also the board review.
Right,
There's a few
right.
days, you know, that,
So if you can back that down, let's say she makes $50 an hour then. She's, I think she's well compensated right now.
Well, I feel, you know, that after 5 years of being here, that she deserves some kind of a raise in her. I mean, because she was paid, you know, $22,000 to start out 5 years ago, and the board decided that, you know, yes, she's gonna do our job, and she's gonna do it for $22,000. She's done it for $22,000 for 5 years. She's taken us through a reassessment of all the properties.
Yeah.
She's got all our property files and stuff in good shape. And everything is, you know, I still, you know, I still think, you know, that she deserves some kind of compensation for it in some form. Whether it be, you know, what Al suggested was changing her contract to 50.
Gonna make that motion now?
sure. I'll make that motion.
Have Mike talk
Change
to
the
her?
contract
Yeah.
to read
Offer to change the contract to read to 50 weeks instead of 52 weeks.
for the 22,000
For the
that she's
22,000.
making now.
Yes, for now.
And that's giving her the 2 weeks off.
Well, that's.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Saying
same
she's
thing.
gotta be
You
in the
know,
office 50 days.
And keep in mind too, you know, it doesn't matter, she's still gonna do the work, she still needs to.
Exactly.
Get the job done.
Get us through all our board reviews and do all the dealings with hearings, you know,
Tribunal.
when we go to, you know, you gotta go to tax tribunal. She's taken us through every tribunal, she's won every tribunal that we've had through the reassessment, every one of them she has, and they haven't been easy tasks for her either, you know, to put everything together, so. Enough said. We have a motion on the floor to change the assessor contract to 50 weeks at the same salary of 22,000.
Or $10 a person.
I'll support that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote.
Mr. Browett?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
You gotta call Jody.
I'm sorry, Jody?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer? Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Browett? You
Yes,
already did you.
I
Mr.
did.
Apple, let's try again.
Yes.
I voted twice.
Mrs. Trumbull? No.
You can't do that.
Okay, motion carries.
You might try.
I will get with her and see if this is acceptable with her, you know, whether she wants to sign the contract for that. Okay. Moving on to new business. Resolution number 213-01-21, St. Clair County Road Commission permits.
I move to adopt this resolution.
I'll second.
Sorry, annual. Sure.
Right, we have to do this in order to be approved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution 213-01-21 for the County Road Commission. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Mr. Browett?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Township Planner and Zoning Administrator. We got a letter from our zoning administrator, Mrs. Baldwin, that with the duties and stuff that she's undertaking, you know, and then she's the new new supervisor at Burtchville, or Fort Gratiot Township, and she just thinks with all the stuff going on that she's not going to be able to do our zoning on a full-time basis. So I think what we ought to do, now I've talked to Mr. McKenna, of McKenna and Associates, their planner company, and I talked to our planner that we use now is Pat Marhar of Community Planning, and we have discussed with them about doing our zoning administrative work for us. But I think we need to, and if it's with the board, I would like to continue looking for, looking for some alternatives to our zoning, administrator and enforcement officer. Put it off until a different meeting in order for us to review, talk to some people and discuss what we need to do, with some other people before. Georgia Baldwin will do our stuff as long as we need her until I say as long as we need her. She'll do it until at such a time as we hire a new zoning person to do our zoning for us. So if anybody's got any thoughts as to that.
I would move to table this until.
Well, what are you tabling? We do have a planner, but we have to reapprove the contract. We do need a planner.
As far as community planners, do
Yes.
you want to reapprove their contract? or-
Yes, I would, because we don't have one.
Yeah, we don't have a contract with them.
It hasn't been renewed.
Do you want to do that now, or, and Mike and I talked a little bit about this stuff this morning. I don't know if we want to ask the planning commission chairman if he wants to ask the planning commission if they're still okay with that plan or two, or if I haven't heard anything that there's any issues about them.
I don't think so. We interviewed Pat and.
Brian's gone, but
Right.
none of us have met Pat. Just we
He's
like
he's very similar to Brian. He's very easy to visit with. He's not overtly aggressive on issues. He listens.
Well,
I don't have a problem with approving that contract. I mean, did you get it back, or?
Yes, it's the same one as what we had. Same prices, same everything.
Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's some hard feelings with the planning commission as far as the board goes. At least, maybe I perceived that from the minutes of the last meeting that I read, that they may be a little upset with us, and we don't do anything, the board doesn't do anything purposely to step on the planning commission's toes. We appreciate everything they do for the township, and they work hard at what they do. But it might be an olive branch to, give this to them and let them approve that, at least let them discuss and make.
Well, they can recommend, they can't approve.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean, and let them make a recommendation and
Approve it.
and we can approve it at our next meeting. But I think
Well, then what you're gonna need to approve is paying him to come up here and meet them, at least.
For,
If that's what you want, don't you want to meet him?
Would you like him to come and address the board
Well,
of your planning
if-
commission meeting at your next meeting?
if he's going to do that, I don't know why we would have to pay them. I would think that if I'm trying to solicit business, that I would be glad to make myself known who I am to.
Okay.
That's my personal feeling
Well,
on
we had
that.
a contract
Because it's
with
$400 a meeting for them to come up here.
He was under the impression when we talked to him that we
still
did have
had
a
a
retainer
contract.
contract
Yes,
with him.
yes.
Well, we looked for a retainer contract, and we didn't have one. So I politely called him back, and I said, Pat, I said, if we have a retainer contract, could you send us a copy of it? Well, he went into his office, and there was never a contract. And how did he put it in his email?
Well, actually, there was. I mean, we have the schedule here.
Yeah, but it's not an ongoing.
It's not
That's
a
right.
retainer.
It hadn't been renewed.
Yes.
That was a list of monies that he charged us if he'd come up to do something. He charged us X number of dollars to come to a meeting, X number of dollars if he had to do.
And they did, because I looked up some of the bills,
Yeah.
and that's what we paid.
And that's how they paid it, but it was on a as needed basis only.
Right.
But we never had a retainer.
That wasn't how it
as
was
such.
when I was on planning and zoning.
Well, when you were on planning is when we were dealing with Montgomery and Associates.
No,
we
we
had
had
Brian.
them, because he was here regularly.
That was their contract.
Yeah, it is
We
their
did,
contract.
yeah.
I have it right here.
But I mean,
Yeah, every
We-
time he was here, they were paid $400 for that meeting.
I know that.
That's why we didn't have him here all the time.
But according to Mike, there was things that, I mean, that we were supposed to be using them for that we
We
weren't.
should have been, yes,
Probably,
yes.
but.
I think
again,
things would have
trying to save
gone,
money.
well, but sometimes you
Well, I.
cut off your
I
nose to spite your
understand-
face.
I understand, but I mean, that's, you know,
In the end, it's gonna cost us more to get it all straightened around again,
well, hopefully not too much.
yeah.
Well, I can call Pat, and I had to call into Mr. McKenna too, and he was supposed to, but in all honesty, we give them a week, and that really probably isn't enough time for them to put something together for us, so. Phil McKenna called me, and then I called him back today, and I think he's probably tied up with the MTA and wasn't available, you know, to
Yeah,
talk.
they'll
So
both probably be down.
I'm sure, yeah.
Or somebody's gonna come.
Yeah. So I think that we ought to just go ahead and use Georgia, and she's working on probably 6 or 7 things, you know, for us right now.
Fortunately, they're all small, so.
Yeah,
you know, there's
well,
no McDonald's or nothing.
no, there's no big building
Gas
or
station.
lot splits
Yeah.
or anything going on right now, so, and she said that she'd be glad to handle it for as long as, you know, as long as it took us to. But I really I don't want to make any snap decisions, I want to really review this, we want to make sure we get the right people, you know,
Yes,
to do this. So if we could just table this until next meeting.
I moved to table this until the next meeting, get some more information.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to table this until next meeting. Second, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd ask for just an AMA. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Budget meetings, as we talked about that earlier, I want to schedule one for either Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. And you guys make the decisions on whether we want to do it in the evening or you want to do it during the day. Whatever's convenient to you. Everybody has got their notification, to have their budgets into us by then. And we can proceed with working on the budget.
Well, you're the person that has the issues. They don't mean issues,
Whatever,
but
I work around it. Yeah.
they're not issues.
Well, no,
but work.
They're not as big issues in February as they are in
Yeah, in March.
July.
August.
Yeah.
So, we may need to do both, depending on who we need to talk with. Maybe we might need an evening meeting.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we'll just post it as a,
We do morning meetings, that's fine.
okay.
What my evenings do.
Do you want to, do we want to set a date now?
Next week, I would like to.
Not next week, not the
Not
following
this,
week.
oh, the second week?
So the first part of February, you're talking.
No, the last week in January. Well, I guess that is the last week.
Oh,
Next
no.
week.
28th.
Yeah, I guess-
Oh, I'm
I guess
sorry,
that
I
does
was
go-
looking-
That runs
yeah.
into the first week
The
in February.
31st is
Yeah.
Thursday, so.
Okay,
I don't have
30th
any
is
problems
Wednesday.
next week.
Yeah, Tuesday's no good for me.
okay. What about Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday or Thursday would be fine. You're talking daytime or evening?
I'm open. It doesn't matter to me.
When's the
I
first?
can
Thursday?
be here anytime,
Friday.
anytime you want to have it.
31st would be Thursday.
Okay.
What's best for you?
Let's
You wanna
schedule
be
the first
here?
one tonight.
That week's fine with me.
31st.
Shall we go Wednesday?
You're the working guy.
I have no idea,
I know your
It'll probably be
schedule.
50 degrees the day we're doing it. so.
Not yet.
Is it an evening meeting?
If it's going down to 5 below for the next week, you won't have to worry about anything. It'd be too
It'd be
frozen
frozen.
to dig in the ground, so.
Oh, I got some
So we're gonna go with
stuff to tear
Wednesday?
down.
Let's go with Wednesday.
AM or PM?
AM,
Okay. 9?
9.
Right?
Okay.
That was easy.
So that would be the
30th.
30th, right?
And we need to go over our Board of Trustees 2013 calendar.
Yeah, we already went through the township, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I think it's really important for the township to be primarily involved with this. Because it's
What the fire contract.
for everybody's, with our taxpayers, if we're funding that for nothing practically. Yes, but anyway, we are on to the Board of Trustees meetings, and that's just,
I move to approve the 2013 Board of Trustee meeting dates, which are the third Mondays of the month, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor of the Board of Trustees meeting dates? Approval?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any? Motion carries.
Excuse me.
Carolyn, do we have to do something with this?
Take that with you.
Take it with you.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
I don't think we either, but
I think Mike's gonna take care of that,
Okay.
What am I taking care of?
that's
the
the,
tax
The tax.
exempt.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
hopefully you'll have that taken care of.
Supervisor's report, I think Supervisor said enough for tonight anyway. You know, everything that I would be discussing would be along the lines of what we're talking about here, so. Caroline, clerk?
I don't have anything either, I think we discussed everything I had.
Jody, treasurer?
No, I'm still working on replacing Kathy and
Okay.
I'll keep you informed.
Cindy?
Just one thing, I ran into a resident, and they go out walking, and they were walking on Myrtle Road, and asked me about the beach access there, at the end of Myrtle. And there's a big sign on it that says private property, go use the state
Yes.
park.
It is
It's
private
owned,
property.
it's owned by a certain amount of people in your deeds.
One of our,
Rose
Is that
Palms
you?
and
You own
stuff.
it?
I'm one of them.
They own it, yes. It's on their deeds.
It's on their deeds and stuff.
It's shoreline plat, which is not Hillman's. Hillman's, for some reason, isn't on shoreline plat. They're on a separate plat when you look it up. But the next house next to Hillman's, down to Norman, between Lake Shore and Lorraine, is shoreline plat. There's a few houses on Myrtle. There's one on State. There's a couple on Norman, and there's a couple back in on Bunker and Lorraine and Elaine.
But if you lived on Myrtle,
You do not
You do not
necessarily
necessarily-
have.
It's only one person. I
There's
think, on
one
board.
lot that's next to me, which is why I know,
I think we went all through this
Yeah,
a couple of
it's
years
lot
ago.
five.
didn't
Mhm.
a shoreline plat, which is owned by 20 people. So, a couple of them are the ones on the other side of Myrtle, closer to the state park. A couple of them are on Myrtle, one's on State, a couple are on Norman, some are on Bunker, a couple of them are on Lorraine, because they wanted beach access. So 20 people have got one lot. So there are a few houses on Myrtle that have rights to that beach. Not everyone on Myrtle does.
They need to look in their deeds, Cindy.
If they do not have a deed that has something to do with shoreline plat, they have no beach rights.
Yeah, that was discussed, that came up, remember, 2 or 3 years ago?
well, I do, but I didn't remember.
It comes up
what
every
it
summer when
was.
somebody wants to go down there swimming, you know?
Well, and I don't think it was necessarily that. I think they used to go down and just walk on the beach.
Well, and part of the problem is some of the realtors back in there will sell houses and tell people they have rights
Yes, yes.
to sell the house.
You can
Oh,
drive back
on
on
beach rights.
Bunker and Lorraine when there's a house for sale and sometimes see beach
Well,
rights.
the houses back on Bunker and Lorraine have got the deed to the beach at the end of Charles Street, that 10-foot strip.
I know, but
And
then,
the realtors will tell them that theirs is at the end of Myrtle, and it's really fun.
Sounds like it.
who gets the tax
it
bill?
is a restricted
I've looked
access.
into who gets the tax bill. We haven't quite ever gotten an answer on that. I know who gets the tax bill for the lot next to me that's split at 20, but
That may be a question I have to ask the assessor.
Who's
Yeah.
paying the tax bill?
I've looked into this. I've been up here. We
Yeah.
were up here before we bought the house we bought. We've been up here since when we started having problems, and nobody's, I've talked to
They
the
used
county.
to.
I've talked to the county. The county claims it's a road. I actually have a copy of the actual deed that says, goes this, and it's dated 2 years after the one that the county is looking at telling me it's a road. Theirs is like 1915. I'm like, mine says 1917, and it says it's this. They're like, well, it doesn't matter, this is what ours are. And I'm like, because I wanted it off the parcel
So
search.
evidently that road was vacated and sold as a lot.
Yeah, signed by the same people that signed the one from 1915, mine signed by the same people from up here, and
Hmm.
it's a barrel of fun.
Those things usually are, especially the old ones.
Well, we're always looking for income in the township. We might have to really.
I remember I remember Rose Brown's house, I believe, was on that, and she used to be one of the ones that gathered in
She's
the tax dollars to pay the tax
one
bill.
of the ones that originally, she's one of the original 20 next to me.
Right,
That gathered the taxes for that lot.
yes.
But I don't think those, like, I don't know if all of our lots are tied into that for the taxes.
I think her house is on Myrtle. That's
Yep,
Yes,
I'm pretty-
hers are,
yeah, she
House
used to
on
collect
Myrtle.
the taxes.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty
For
sure.
everybody.
she collected the
That may be
taxes
the
for
only
lot
one on
5.
Myrtle that's
But she,
No, there's
and let's
like 4 or
see,
5.
4 or 5.
I don't know, like Gene Gruys, is it on it?
His is on it, his
Yeah.
son owns,
Right.
his son in St. Clair owns one of the 20.
Mhm.
There's a Brown out in, I wanna say Yale or Boca, that now is like one of Rose's children or something that has it, 'cause she stopped me last year and asked me why I had done some of the things I'd done over there, because it's adjoining to mine.
Okay.
I'm like, because there's too many problems. I don't like having beer bottles up here at 4 a.m. for teenagers. So I just pretend that I just cut the grass because nobody's cutting the grass. I've talked to Charles Gruey, who's currently the taxpayer, so
Is
he's fine with
Rose's old house vacant now?
I don't know.
Okay.
There's so many rentals and
Okay.
fun and excitingness
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That was my only thing.
Just, did we find anything out about Blue Maxon?
We have a offer to sign it.
We didn't sign it?
Yeah, it's signed.
And
Out there waiting
and you
for
said
him.
it, you did, and you put it up by the window. But
I
then
called,
we had lousy weather, and they just started doing it again, I see.
Did they start doing it again?
Not
I don't
not
know
here,
if
they're
they're
doing it
not
in
here or
Grant.
not.
I saw them
Oh,
doing it in
okay.
Grant, so.
Okay, so it is.
It's all, oh, it's signed in, well, I'm supposing the county picked it up.
Well, Jack was supposed to pick it
Jack
up. It
was supposed
sat
to
up
pick
there
it
for
up.
quite a
I
while.
Set it
though.
out there, you know, Maryland, but they haven't. He said he was gonna come.
They'll take care of it, we'll discuss it.
Huh?
If it isn't taken care of by the time we go down and have our annual meeting, then we'll discuss it.
Yeah, yeah.
All this stuff will occur.
Well, they're doing a lot of work with, you know, wood and stuff.
Well, yeah, and they should have
They
been
don't.
notifying the property owners that they did first option on the wood too, and they didn't do that.
Okay. Moving on, extended public comment. Is there any? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion. Somebody
I move that we adjourn.
Of course. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting is over. Thank you very much.